we have an update on the Yankees sign stealing letter. How excited are you for this, Brig?
Not, but go ahead.
Not even a little bit. So, for those of you who might have missed last week, we talked to last week, 2 weeks ago? I don't know. Anyway, we talked about how a judge had ordered that the Yankees open the letter from Rob Manfred regarding sign stealing. Yeah. There was an investigation and all this stuff. We talked about how it'd be worse for baseball than it would be for the Yankees. Yes. Well, the Yankees have appealed to all 13 judges of the Second Circuit U.S. Court of Appeals to reverse the ruling of their initial 3-judge panel to unseal the letter from Manfred to Cashman. Yep. Now, Brig, I don't know if you watched Making a Murderer or not, but I did, which makes me an expert on the Court of Appeals.
Oh, yeah. 100%. No, how could it is? No, you have a Juris Doctorate now.
I do. You're right.
You're at least a lobbyist.
No, I still don't know how it works. But anyway, okay. So I thought this was interesting. So this is Judge Joseph F. Bianco. Circuit Judge Joseph F. Bianco wrote this regarding the Yankees appeal. Are you ready for this, Brig? This is very interesting.
I'm still ready. Tell me.
Okay, it says we're going to call this reading the internet. Here we go. The Yankees primarily contend they will suffer significant and irreparable reputational harm, not because of the actual substance of the Yankees letter, but rather because its content would be distorted to falsely and unfairly generate the confusing scenario that the Yankees had somehow violated MLB's sign stealing rules, when in fact the Yankees did not. Now, let's pause there for a minute. We talked a little bit about this, that it's not so much the Yankees, because the Yankees have their lovers and their haters, and everybody's going to be on both sides of the fence no matter what, right?
Right. Yep.
Yeah, they could steal signs every year, and that wouldn't change anybody's opinion about them.
Nope.
Would it change your opinion as a Yankee fan?
No. I'd be pissed, but I wouldn't change my opinion.
Exactly. Exhibit A. Your Honor.
Putting that Juris Doctorate to work.
That's right. He continues, that argument, however, carries little weight. Disclosure of the document will allow the public to independently assess MLB's conclusion regarding the internal investigation as articulated to the Yankees, and the Yankees are fully capable of disseminating their own views regarding the actual content of the Yankees letter. Now, I feel like he said basically everything we did before, but in a more judicial way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just use legalese.
Yeah, the problem is for baseball, though. Really, though.
Yeah, it is. And so, okay, and I'm not saying that this isn't a homer comment. This is genuine. Mm-hmm. If you're going to force open the results of an investigation into the Yankees, you have to force open the results of the investigation into the Red Sox and to the Astros from the 2017-2018 seasons. You have to.
Everything has to be opened up. Yeah.
Everything now. And that's what I'm saying. So if the truth is that important, and it doesn't matter if we're just going to blanketly say that the players, the fans, everybody involved deserves to know, then we all deserve to know. Mm-hmm. So what kind of precedent are you going to set? Because we don't still have the full depth of the 2017 information, and we still don't know anything about what the Red Sox went through. So I don't know how you can pick one and not the others. I'm okay either way, but you just have to do it. Do it all the way.
Yeah, exactly. You can't go part way on this. If I was the Yankees, that would be my big petition too, is that if this appeal is denied, then I'd say, okay, then let's open up the books on everybody else then. What else did you find other places? The world has to know. If they have to know about us, they have to know about them too. And anybody else you might have looked into.
Anybody. Yeah,
because you cannot pick and choose. And that was actually one of Cashman's arguments, I think is who it was he said, he says, well, what's to stop them from opening other confidential letters or whatever, not just in baseball, but otherwise. It's like,
exactly. And what other topics, right? Just not just rule or policy violation, but maybe this gets into, investigations into domestic violence policies or there could be a whole lot of information out there that we're not privy to that could further damage baseball's reputation as a whole. Now, I think that's a short-term response. The long-term response is that the truth might actually liberate us all, and we all come to terms with what's gone on, kind of like the NFL went through, where players went to jail, everybody got it, and then now we all just know, right? That's a risk. That's just part of what happens, and it sucks, and we all hate it, but it's better that we know. And so I don't know. I like the truth. I'm always prefer the truth, like I said.
But. Right. Yeah, and I don't know. The only problem I have with it is that, like I said, it'd be bad for baseball because it would be known as the cheating sport.
Yep.
While it already is known as that to some degree, that every sport has a stigma that baseball's is going to be cheating, that you can't trust any result, and yep. I feel like that would be really bad. But there are some people who feel like because of gambling that like the sports books have their hands in every single result, right? Saying that like everything's fixed, that's why there's only certain teams win the championship and others don't because of odds and because they can't be paying out, blah 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 blah. Yeah. And that certainly doesn't help. But I don't know.
Well, it took professional boxing literally decades to drop the stigma about betting and throwing fights and all kinds of stuff.
I feel like it's still there.
Yeah, but it's not nearly as strong as it was.
Yeah, because there are certain fights that like you go into, it's like it's gonna be a draw. It's gonna be a draw because these guys get more money by fighting again in 6 months.
That's right, or a year, or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So and you're right. It's hard to shirk those reputations. They just are hard.
Yeah, and the NBA still has the referee thing.
Yeah,
that there are times that it's like, dude, this dude is like in the pockets of the sports books or something, So
that's right.
Yeah, everybody's got their stigma, and I don't want baseballs to be cheating because that's a cycling thing.
It's a nailed it.